Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021, and this is Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. And I am ready to get my coloring on. So come on in. Put your feet up, stay a while. Let's have some fun, guys. As always, good to see everybody. Welcome to everybody that comes into the room. And welcome to everybody that is sitting in the balcony watching us. I'm so glad to see everybody. Hi, Lila, Sandra. So glad to see everybody. And Lila, do me a favor and just send a heart in your text or in your screen to let me know that you can hear me. And Sandra's here early. All right. Our Canadian ensemble is here. Woohoo! Yeah, okay, thanks for the heart, Lila. Perfect. Headset is still a little new, so, you know, I just want to check it out every time. Good to see everybody. Oh. Oh, Canada. Oh, so good to see you guys. You wait by the door to get in. Oh, you're going to do some hand sewing. There you go. Wanda, welcome. All right. Good to see everybody. Don't forget to share this, guys. Get comfy, put your feet up. Yeah, Wanda's finished piece is beautiful. I thought that was so cool that Ruth Sanderson commented on it too. Doggone. Hi, Cindy. So good to see everybody. All right. Announcements. We've got a contest running. And this is the picture. So nice of Helen to supply it to us. And also, I've been able to play around with it. Having a lot of fun showing this. And please, guys, don't forget to talk about Ruth Sanderson coming in. I probably announced that a little bit too early, but hey, that's okay. Zoom in. Let me make sure we got this going here. Zoom out. I think I actually have my act together tonight. Last night was a train wreck. But hey, Maddie, Maddie, Maddie. All right. So, announcements are the contest, and this is the piece. Yeah, it cut out, and it was so close to 10 o'clock. I didn't come back in. There was like, I don't know, 15 minutes to go. I didn't want to create another chunk, Maddie. People get a little confused when it breaks up into more than one segment. Excuse me. Yeah, got bumped and stalled a lot yesterday. I know it. And that's so darn frustrating when that happens. Okay, so the contest and Ruth Sanderson, and then I'll be announcing about the publisher that I'm now working with. We will have some new artists coming in here. I think you're going to like their stuff. And I pre-approve everything, so obviously. All right, so let's talk about this. So last night I was working on the acrylic paint. Yes, we do have a very strong bond. So yesterday I was showing you how to do this with the metallic paint and the sand. So we've got different effects here. Did pencil, did a little bit of gold coloring. Showed you how to do some metallic painting on top of this hair. Not the best choice of colors, but I just wanted to demonstrate that. So I want you to not be afraid to use your acrylics on your coloring. And especially, now Dee Willingham does acrylics, but I specifically wanted to do the metallics. So there are so many ways to have fun with this. All right. Now, last night I took the blobs of the acrylic paint, zoom in, and I want to show you this. Hopefully I can get the angle that I want. Hold on. There we go. Okay, see the height of that paint? There you go. Important to experiment. Experiment. Go wrong helps you to go right. Yeah. So everybody see that height of the paint, the orange and the green? In fact, you can see the little peaks of shadow. Last night when I was putting that on there. Now, Ranger Products has a thing called Pearl Glue, and it's coming in the dispenser buttons just like their hello, I'm having a glitter. That's it. And the idea with their stuff is to create the bumps and the relief on your pictures. But as I was playing with the acrylic, I knew that I could do that with that well. So I'll work on perfecting that, but I wanted to show you. And of course, when you run your finger over it, zoom out. Hi, Diane. Zoom out. Lila got bling and stickers. So the curls here underneath, according to Helen, that's hair. Yeah, that's the hair. So Helen, she's got ringlets here, ringlets and these hair swirls, right? So all this is hair right here. Ringlets and curls. Okay. Now, Helen, what about these two curls coming out to the right? Are those hair as well? Now, I understand that this is all subject to interpretation, but you know, people like, yeah. But are these hair? Filigree. Okay. Okay. And again, guys, all subject to interpretation. Zoom out. So we had a lot of fun with this yesterday. And I hope I showed you some new methods. Yeah, but Diane, the neat thing is, though, is Helen says you can make it what you want. So you can do all the rest of it hair and then maybe make these like, you know, gold or silver or bright red. Fun stuff with it. Okay. And Vicky's saying hello. Well, Diane, I've done a lot of skin coloring on live. All you have to do is go to, thank you, Lila, for Vicky. Diane, all you have to do is go to the little magnifying glass in the group and type in the word keywords, KEYWORDS, and then skin. And then that'll bring up everything that I've done in coloring skin. All right, let's get coloring, guys. So I'm going to play around with this just a little bit. Oh, you're welcome, Diane. Skin is not hard. And I'm sorry, Lila, what piece is that you're doing? Zoom in. And of course, I will be switching up on things that I color tonight. You know that I do that. now. Dawn told everybody she's out of Facebook jail. So hopefully she'll be stopping in tonight just to say hello. Oh, the picture of Helen's, yeah. Hi, Brooke. Well, congratulations, Helen. That's great. Ruth Sanderson, hello. So good to see you, Ruth. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruth Sanderson is in the room. Ruth is working on, well, tell us what you're working on. Have we figured out how to go ahead and get you on camera, Ruth? All right, here we go. I'll tell you what, Ruth, that was so nice of you to comment on Wanda's picture that she did. She was so excited when you said something. So Ruth and I, there we go. I think we got it.
All right, guys, here we go. Hello, Ruth. Yay.
I did it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wow, that was hard, but I did it.
Oh man, yeah. But you know what? Glad to see you. Now, did you figure out hold on, let me do something here. Did you figure out your camera for your computer?
No, just for the phone.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, it's weird for the computer, so I'm glad you were able to do it on your phone.
Yeah, it seems more complicated for the computer, so this, I figured it out. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Luddite, but it worked.
Hey, I'm there with you. Don't worry about it. Oh my gosh, the room is so excited right now. Lila says standing ovation. Wow.
Oh.
Ruth, we
I'm
are
excited about your coloring. You do such a great job. Oh my gosh. The flowers are beautiful, and I love the portrait that Helen did. That's so whimsical and fun. Yeah, you choose some really good pictures. Good artists.
Well, thank you so much. You know, and my whole deal here is with this group is to first and foremost to bring people in here who are going through a tough time and have, may have physical issues, depression, maybe depressed, maybe isolated, whatever. And so I broadcast 7 days a week. I'm sorry, 7 days a week. And I am delighted to do it. I'm in the position that I can do it. And I am so thankful that people such as yourself are coming in to visit our group. It's just, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Jeff Haney, by the way, I don't know if you know who he is, and a fellow artist. He says he loves your work as well. He was excited that you were coming in too.
Great, great. No, I look forward to seeing his. Have you colored a piece of his as well?
Oh yeah, I've colored several pieces of his. Do you know who he is by any chance?
I'm sure I've seen his work. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not good at remembering all the names.
Oh, of course.
So, but I'm sure I've seen him. Yeah.
Well, listen, enough about the group and so forth. First of all, I know you are extremely busy right now, and you've got some super pressing deadlines to get some things done. So thank you for squeezing in a few minutes to come in. And
Okay.
tell us what you're working on, please.
So I'm actually working on a children's book. It's a biography of a French artist named Rosa Bonheur. She's next year is the 200th anniversary of her birth. So she was working in the 1850s, but she did a magnificent picture of horses that's 8 feet by 16 feet wide, and it's hanging in the Metropolitan Museum in New York. And picture book biographies are very popular right now. So I decided to write a picture book biography about her creation of this giant painting. So that's what I'm working on right now. And, you know, as you might know, I'm a horse artist. I've done coloring books on horses based on my, I did the Black Stallion series back in the day, and I did another series for Random House called Horse Diaries. And my coloring book, my horse coloring book is based on a lot of that art. So yeah, so I'm doing another horse book. So I'm having fun.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And I'm excited about Nursery Rhymes, which is just came out, and you'll be working on that. In a few weeks. So I look forward to seeing you.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm great. Now, I just wanted to mention something to you. I got your Christmas coloring book that was the line art. And I recall you, now correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, and by the way, Maddie says that she's familiar with that picture called Horse Heads. And she said her work is in a museum nearby in a town called Horseheads. Excuse me. Yeah, yeah. Maddie does a lot of artwork and just a ton of stuff. So she is familiar with a lot of the things that you're doing as well. So she's really excited to have you here. But what I wanted to say to you, and I'm so glad I've got the chance to say this personally, but I believe that you mentioned that book that you did, the line art, was the first book that you'd done for line art. Is that correct?
It's actually not the first. It's the first I've done in quite a while, quite a few years. I've done a couple of books in line art. I did a fairies book, and then Fantastic Cats, and this is my third line art book, but my first Christmas line art book.
Okay. Well, and I left a note for you somewhere, or left you a text and said, oh my gosh, I hope you do more line artwork, because I know that you do so much in grayscale. But your line
the grayscale's a little easier because, I have existing artwork that I can, grayscale. So it's already existing, and that's a little easier. It might take me 3 weeks to do, to grayscale a book, as opposed to 3 months to create the line art for a book. So I don't always have that amount of time. But my next one, I think, will be a Christmas one, and it will be, I think I'm going to do Teddy Bear Christmas.
Oh,
next,
how cute.
But probably not this year. Maybe I can squeeze it in, but I'm not sure. I really loved doing the cute little mice. So we'll see. Anyway, I sent you a package with coloring books. Did you get them?
I will check my mailbox. I'm sure that I will double check.
You should get it soon. I sure hope you get it soon.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Okay.
Okay,
and no, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to mention, I just put up a 40% off sale on just the brand new book, the nursery rhyme book on Etsy, if anyone wanted to check that out. So
excellent.
Okay.
Anything else that you would like to tell our group? I mean, you're here. We love you. What would you like to say?
Well, I hope people that are reluctant about grayscale will give it a try. And I know you don't do too much. Do you do a little grayscale, sort of half and half, or do you mostly line art when you color?
I do a mix of it, whatever strikes my fancy at the time, and I'm pulling some of my people kicking and screaming through grayscale. but
I do have videos also, so if you wanted to check out my channel, I certainly don't do demos every day like you do, but I do quite a few grayscale tutorials. So if people wanted to check that out, you can find them.
And yes, ma'am. And I suggest people go to you all the time and say, look at the way Ruth does it, and look at her videos. And I know how you talk about. I think when you color, you do your light colors first, and then your mediums, and then your darks.
I do. It's not a rule. Some people work the other way, but it's what works for me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have taught it both ways. I did a grayscale out of a large book. It was a quilt of a man in a quilt. Somebody helped me with the title. It's not coming to my mind right now, but I'm finding that my group is becoming way more comfortable with grayscale, and there is no reason why people should be resistive to it. And so I have been really, I don't want to say pushing, because I don't want to push things on people. Baker's Dozen. Maddie, thank you. The book was called Baker's Dozen, and my group helps me out so much when I have a brain lapse, which is sometimes too frequent. But yeah, Baker's Dozen. And so I walk people through how to do that. And now I'm having people, one of my ladies, Wanda, she was very hesitant about grayscale, and she's the lady that you complimented on her fairy, and she is really kicking cans with it, doing very well. So I tend to I'll do the dark and then the medium and the light, and then I'll go back and I'll blend with my medium or my light. Now, again, that's not a hard set rule. I've done it the other way, and whatever works for people. So point being in my discussion is, guys, no reason to be afraid of grayscale. Ruth has wonderful videos with it. She's got the wonderful books. And Maddie just said that she loves the picture of the woman standing by the tree behind Ruth's head. What is that, Ruth?
That's a scratch board. Let me see if I can. So that's a 24 by 36 inch scratch board illustration that I did for fun. It was actually inspired by my own book, which is full color. But this is, yeah, scratch board is one of my favorite mediums. Here's another one on my wall the other way, and one more.
Yeah, feel free to.
Anyway,
yeah.
So
no. Feel free to show anything real quick.
When you have me on, I don't want to monopolize your night here. I'll do a little studio tour and take my camera around and show you different things. I draw here. Here's my coloring. I keep my pencils in just like these buckets from Michael's. They're all joined together, so you can just carry the whole thing around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Wow, that is really neat.
A lot of reference. And then so I have a drawing station. Actually, this is, I'll turn the, can I turn the camera around?
Yeah, there should be a little button there. There you
Ooh.
go.
So I'm drawing out my next horse picture. You can see this is the board right in front of me. So I'm, this is it's like Mr. Ed. This woman in 1850 had a studio. So she painted on one side, which I haven't drawn yet. And then there was a stable built in the other side of her studio, which is so cool. So here's an old fashioned saddle and the horse looking on, and then in the background will be her studio.
Wow.
So she had a bunch of taxidermy. She was an amazing artist. I really feel like she was a kindred spirit for me.
Oh, and so appreciative that you're giving us that sneak peek on that upcoming piece.
Okay, one more though. So during the day I paint, and at night I draw, because I don't like painting at night. But here's the one that's on my board right now.
Oh.
So you can see how it's partly done. So here she is drawing horses at the horse fair in Paris. So she had to get a permit to dress like a man so that she could be allowed to draw on the horses in the horse fair. She drew horses for a year and a half at the horse fair, and then she spent another year painting this giant 8 by 16 foot painting. So this is, you can see it's very much in progress. So it's very, roughly drawn, and then just a little bit of color on it. And next time I see you, I can show you this finished, because it'll be finished very soon.
Okay,
within a week. Takes about a week per picture.
A week per picture. Okay, those horses are magnificent, and that one, yeah. Oh.
He's done. Yeah, he's done. But here's my reference picture. This is a friend of mine posed for Rosa, and she didn't have a hat on, so I took pictures of my daughter in a hat and then put it on the model. So it's my friend modeling for Rosa, and she looked very much like her. This is that's actually a portrait of the artist. So I'm sort of using that as, the hairstyle and what have you. And then I took photos of a friend of mine for the scene. So I'm having a great time with it. It'll be out next year.
Oh, wow, Ruth, that'll be dropped it. And so many people love your work. I hope you know that. And oh my gosh, just gorgeous work. And then what made you decide to get into coloring books?
Well, I was actually asked by Fairy Magazine to contribute to a collection of different artists. They invited different artists to contribute to a fairy coloring book. So I was one of the artists, and after I did that, I went, gosh, this really was fun. Maybe I should, do this myself. Coloring books are popular. So I created a fairy coloring book, actually based on that art, but that book was horizontal. So I extended a lot of the art and made vertical pictures. So they were a little different than what I did for them. And then someone posted a grayscale. They colored a grayscale picture of mine that they had found on Pinterest. And it was a Christmas image, like a Santa or something. And I saw it in one of the coloring groups, and I was like, oh, people color grayscale, but you're kind of not supposed to do that, people. You're not supposed to take something from Pinterest and grayscale it yourself without permission, because, gosh, the artist might want to create grayscale books. I think I'll do that. So it was actually a colorist that gave me the idea by stealing one of my images from Pinterest. So, so I couldn't be too mad.
Yeah,
gave me a good idea. And now the groups are much stricter. Like that was in 2016. And now groups are really strict about, reminding people they're not supposed to just take things without permission. And, they always have to, quote who the artist is and what have you. So
Absolutely, and my group knows I'm a huge stickler about that. I do not accept anything from Google. I don't accept anything from Pinterest, and I absolutely require book name and book author. And yeah. So, the horse
One more
behind you.
horse. So,
Ah,
and that's from my book. That's from my book Enchanted Wood. And he's never been in a coloring book. Someday he'll be in a coloring book. I still have a lot of fairy tale art that I haven't made into coloring books. I've got some art from Sleeping Beauty and Beauty. I have some Etsy pieces, but I don't have a full. Yeah, a lot of my fairy tales aren't coloring books yet. You know, some of them were horizontal, and that doesn't work that well for books. So we'll see. I'm working on it. I will have one more coming out later this year, and I'm not sure what it will be, but.
When we were talking to Jeff Haney, we were talking about, grayscale and line art and so forth. Have you, and we asked him this question, or I asked him this question, have you ever thought about putting out a coloring book that has both grayscale and line art in it?
You know, I have not, mainly because I just don't have a lot of time to do line art. You know, I have, a lot of illustration projects throughout the year, book covers and, the books. And so, I wish I had more time to devote to, to doing something like that. The closest I came was the first fairy tale I did, which was the 12 Dancing Princesses. I actually, in that one, have two versions. I've got the straight grayscale, and then what I did was I printed out the grayscale and I added line. So that one is sort of a combination, right in the book, of some grayscale, but with line added. So half the book is like the repeated pictures, but with line added. So that's something different, and it was a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
And after that, I just went with the straight grayscale.
Yeah. So when was your first coloring book, when you discovered that you would be interested in doing coloring books? What year?
It was 2016.
Okay.
I believe. Yeah, I think it was the fall of 2016, and then I think my first book came out in January 2017.
Okay, so for
I guess 4 years.
4 years, 5 years, 4 years, yeah.
4 years.
Super.
Mm-hmm.
So, is the majority of your push or revenue or whatever, however you want to state it? Let me back up. What percentage of your work is coloring book versus other artistic things that you do, like your paintings and your beautiful work?
I'd say the coloring books are maybe 20%.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to continue? Are you going to continue doing coloring books? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Oh, absolutely. No, I have a blast doing them, and I really, really do want to do more line art. And actually, there will be another line art one, because I have an upcoming project with a Russian writer who is translating some Russian fairy tales, and he wants me to illustrate them. And we're going to do a Kickstarter for the book, and it will be full color. However, I decided that I'd like to do it in line, in pen and ink, and then I will color it for him. However, I will scan the line before that. So it will be, some very cool Russian fairy tales. And so that'll be an upcoming line art book, maybe as early as next year.
Oh, so. Ruth. Now, have you thought about, when you're doing your grayscale and so forth, when you do the line art, that you would do the line art first and then take pictures of it or whatever you do to reproduce it, and then go ahead and do your grayscale so that you would have a way to create line art very quickly? No.
No, it's not how I work. When I'm doing oil painting, for instance, most of my color work is oil painting. I just do a very rough pencil outline. I don't do a line. You saw the painting that was partly done. It's
yes,
a
ma'am.
very light outline, and then I start putting tone on it. So I don't work it up in the same way. Then when I'm finished, then I can grayscale it. But it's not a process that like a lot of artists do line art and color it with watercolor, but that's not usually how I work. So.
Mm-hmm. Have you thought about doing that way in order to be able to produce more line art?
Well, this is why I'm going to do the Russian fairy tale book. Instead of in traditional oils, I'm going to do it line and wash, and that way I will have a nice line art to make a coloring book. So yeah, so I'm specifically doing it with this purpose in mind.
Oh man, that Russian fairy tales, that is going to be so popular with people. You know that, right?
Yeah, it'll be my first line art fairy tale book. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
So yeah, no, I'm definitely not giving up on coloring books. I love making them. I do love it.
Well, and your face is lighting up when you talk about that, so it's very obvious that, who made that statement that is you find a job that you really enjoy doing and you'll never work a day in your life?
Right. Right. I want to be two people. I want to be like the coloring book artist full time, and then, the illustrator full time. But so far that hasn't quite worked out.
Oh, you'll figure it out. But yeah, when you talk,
to sleep.
Yeah, funny thing about that.
Yeah.
But your face just lights up when you talk about coloring books, and I'll tell you, I guarantee everybody that's in my room right now is going, yay, yay, yay. Now,
well, this is so much fun. I didn't know that you could like join in somebody's live session, but I really should go now and get back to my drawing, and you should get back to your coloring. And thank you, thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
this is
Ruth,
great.
The honor and pleasure is mine. I just wanted to tell you something real quick too. Sometimes it looks like that the room count is low, but what happens is there are a lot of people that watch us live, live, that are not in the room, and then this goes to video in my Facebook group. So when Jeff Haney was here, we had upwards, and it's still counting, he had like 480 views. So once there, and it goes up, it goes up from there because it's always there. So just to let you know, I don't want you to think that I don't want you to be discouraged about the room number. And of course, the night that you're here, I'm sure it's going to pop up way up. So, but this will give you quite a bit of exposure, and I encourage you to talk about everything that you're doing and what you want to do and the whole bit because this is for you, and by doing it for you, it creates a really nice interaction for my group as well. So thank you. I know that you're busy. We'll get out of your face. You are a doll. Feel free now. Yeah, and feel free, please, when you have something new or something's going on, please feel free to pop in the room and tell us about it. And then or it can go ahead and be put on in my group. So that's what I do for my artists once they've become our friend, that you can go ahead and publicize as much as you like. Okay?
Very, very nice of you. You are wonderful. Thank you so much for doing what you do. It's fantastic.
Oh,
it's fantastic.
Well, thank you. Now don't make me cry.
Keep coloring.
Oh, you better believe it. I love my group so much, and thank you for coming in. All right.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow. Ooh. Well, what do you think of that, peeps? How do I follow that up? Oh, what a nice lady. Oh my gosh. Nice, nice lady. I hope everybody had a good time watching her. She is so down to earth. And I'm feeling really good about what she said too about me, so excuse me while I bask in enjoying that compliment. we have so much fun. Yeah, that Rosa Bonner book? Yeah. All right. Well, you guys just never know what's going to happen when you come in here. And if you missed it, Ruth Sanderson was just here, and you can catch it on video. Yay. Well, thank you, guys. I really want to do this kind of stuff for you guys. And I'm so glad that we're able to pull it off. That is fun. All right. Zoom in. Zoom in. Oh, that always turns off after I have somebody on live. Drives me nuts. All right. Okay. So guys, definitely share this video because Ruth Sanderson was on it. Now, may I make a suggestion? When you share the video, put a little text in there and say, Ruth Sanderson came to visit us. Oh, Ruth Sanderson, Sharon, is a coloring book artist. She does a lot of grayscale. Very, very talented lady. Very well known. So Wanda, that was the lady that complimented your work. Okay. Oh, let's see here. So what I'm doing, guys, is I'm going ahead and I am working on a base color with my blue. I'll tell you what, guys, what really I'm feeling so grateful for is Ruth. You know, obviously we were in touch. I got to check my mailbox too. Obviously we were in touch. You know, I've been in touch with her, and she is just so busy. It's not even funny. So she was talking to us for a good, my gosh, I'd say about a half hour. So for her to pop in like this, and Actually, I was only expecting her to stay probably, I don't know, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. But she has such a love for what she's doing. All right. Now, I know that you guys have already worked on this, but again, I want you to see what I'm doing with it. So what I'm doing right now, guys, is I am laying down my base marker. So did I answer the question who Ruth Sanderson is? Let me back up and take a quick look here. Let's see. Did I answer the question to the person who asked me about who Ruth Sanderson is? If you look up her videos, she does grayscale. She's known for her grayscale. And she is a very, very popular artist. Sharon Morale. Yes, if you do that in Amazon, yes, you will find it. And she just put out a grayscale book about the nursery rhymes. And what I'm excited about is she said she sent me a few books, so now I'm curious to see. Yes, check her out on YouTube, Sharon. She colored a Cinderella piece that was absolutely beautiful. Did you guys see how she lit up when she was talking about coloring books and doing them? So yeah, we'll have her for years to come. Good night, Miss Helen. Have a great evening. Okay, so I've got a nice blue going on with this. And again, I want you to see the marker technique, water-based. And because I pre-sprayed, of course, with the Krylon, you just spread it a little bit. Adorable puppies, you just found it. Now, if anybody has any question, of course, about what I'm doing with the marker, let me know. Yeah, Lila, what's the two, what is the two nursery rhymes? What are the names of those books? And that was interesting to hear Ruth say how she put her books together. Okay, Mother Goose. Okay, yeah. Mother Goose and nursery rhymes. Okay, thank you. By the way, thank you so much, guys, for helping me with that name before when I couldn't think of it when Ruth was talking. I love it when I know I can depend on you guys to help me like that. Dawn, you just missed Ruth Sanderson. She came in here, bless her heart, she's in the middle of some major projects. She spent a good, what, half hour with us, guys? Nice lady. So yes, Dawn is back. Yeah, Mother Goose rhymes and nursery rhymes, both in grayscale. All right. And you heard what she said about grayscale, right? Not hard. All right, let me see if I can get this. Oh yeah, that artwork on her walls. And then, Dawn, she showed us some stuff that she was working on, upcoming work, and it was so fun to see her sketches. Yeah, she was here about a good half hour. Zoom out. Yeah, Michelle, that's why she's able to chat with us in the room. Okay. Anybody else having stalling problems? I'm checking it on my end, and it looks like it's okay. If you have anything open on your computer or your phone, your smartphone, close them. So any apps on your phones that are open, all right, zoom out, zoom out. Yeah, close all your apps on your smart devices and close out of any programs on your computers, and that hopefully will help you. All right, let me turn that. Zoom in. Zoom in. Hi, Maribel. Maribel, you just missed Ruth Sanderson. She was here a few minutes ago. But you can watch it on the replay, of course. All right, now I want everybody to see how smooth this is coming out here. All right. Did I say the publisher was Canadian? Yeah, now we need Jeff to pop in. That would be funny, wouldn't it? Okay. Let me reboot my headset and see if that helps. Hold on. Okay, is that better? Yeah, I probably need to just turn my headset off when the person comes in. I'll do that. Yeah, I'll see if I can announce it tonight, Lila. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, sound is better. Okay. Got a little excited when Ruth popped in, so I didn't turn my headset off. I could hear her through my headset. Could you guys hear her clearly when she was on? Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, so yes, you could hear her clearly. All right. Yeah, and I could hear her through my headset. So apparently something's interfering with it with me when I talk. Now, when I was talking to her, could you hear me clearly? Okay, I sound muffled a little bit when, so she was clear, I was muffled. Okay, gotcha. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Well, thank you for not mentioning that, guys, when she was on. I would have hated to interrupt her. So when I have guests, I just need to pop off my headset. Let's see here. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing a simple blue base on this whole thing with my marker. I told you to behave. No. At least I didn't get a bazillion texts from you telling me I was muffled. Maybe somebody should have told me that. And it's so funny. I don't know how old that picture is of Ruth on her stuff that she's got on YouTube. She looks just the way I expected her to look. But some of you try to be good students, but some of us don't listen. Oh. Ah. Like Wanda, who wants drunken gnomes. Bloody, I make bloody axes, and she's into drunken gnomes. Okay. Hi, Sandra. Somebody tell Sandra I don't have the heart to tell her, although she can watch it on replay. Let's see here. Oh. Hey, Lila, you just got to laugh through these things, you know. Somebody tell Sandra, UK Sandra, who was just here. What you done? Come on, somebody tell Sandra. Thank you, Lila. Sandra, UK, you just got to get here earlier. Yeah, Ruth Sanderson dropped in just for a couple minutes. Well, actually a half hour, but nice lady. Oops, that probably should have been green. Oh well. All right. Now remember, if you get a little striping or notice striping, you can go back with your marker. See this darker blue line? Although I don't mind that because I can still shade. But you can go back and touch it up with your marker. But yeah, if you guys, when you share this video tonight, if you would please, please mention Ruth Sanderson was here. Coloring book artist Ruth Sanderson. Dawn, you still with us? You're awfully quiet. Oh, well, that's good that you had that sleep. 5 hours. All right. Okay, Dawn. Yes, I know my camera's wiggling. I'm working on fixing that. Yeah, the feds came in to make sure she was behaving. Yeah. Yeah, well, be careful, guys, what you say during live because I don't want to be bumped either, so. Okay. Let's see. All right. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. So obviously I've made a blue base for my flower. Now I've got a few here that are lighter than the other ones. Thank you, Lila. Pretty sorry state of affairs when you got to be careful what you say during live, even a live broadcast. Okay. That blue looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, all right. So Dawn, I don't recall you posting a lot of what you color. Any particular reason for that? All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and add my dark blue. sort of shy about it, always worried folks will get intimidated? Dawn, post them, please. That's what the group is all about. My people know better than to get intimidated. All right. Let me turn you guys this way so we're kind of facing upward, even though this flower is down. No, you're not, Dawn, at all. Good grief. You of all people, I would think that you would know, not an issue about posting. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little hint. I will tell her, Lila. Dawn, post the pictures. Jeez. Dawn, it absolutely is inspirational. I'm really surprised you're really saying all this. Okay, so I'm putting a tinge of blue. So what's the deal? If Ruth Sanderson posts something, she colors. You guys realize how funny that is? That we're all going to be intimidated? Good grief. You're the author of these books. You know what you intended with them. Post the pictures, Dawn. Good grief. Okay, so again, I'm smearing this marker in to add that really nice shade of blue in the back. That's right, Dawn. This is not my group. Look, exactly. My group is not a competition. Mine is a teaching group. And I want all of you to listen to that. That's why I ask you when you post to talk a little bit about how you colored. And other than the Facebook requirement, that's why I want you to post the author and the book so that people can be inspired and get the book and color the piece themselves. Michelle, that's right. I don't see very many of your postings at all either. I mean, honestly, guys, if you're going to be embarrassed, is this, well, you're here to learn. Okay, now, Dawn, be sure that you note the author, the book title. That's funny, too. All right, everybody see now how the shading on this blue is making this flower look pretty? See, Lila is posting, and she says she's got a lot of firsts. Love the blue hair. Okay. Yeah. And again, for somebody that may be new on the group, this picture is pre-sprayed with Krylon. So that I can go ahead and blend in the marker, but the marker has to be blended in like right away. Michelle, remind me what you're going to school for. It's been a while. And when do you graduate? Okay. Everybody see how this is coming out? I'm just doing a very simple shading in the blue that I put in the center. And what I will do actually is darken that blue. And that is simply done by going over the area again with my marker. American Sign Language interpreter. I don't ever remember you telling us that. How cool. So how long is the study total? And Michelle, it's okay if you can't post a lot because you can't color. We still love you coming in and learning. Anybody have any questions about 4 years total? Oh, Michelle, that's wonderful. You're going to have to tell us when you graduate. Stacy's graduating, what, the 13th of March? Michelle needs her hands to talk. Oh, great. So I just have to put her on live and then she can talk to us? All right. I love how this is turning out, especially since I am darkening this center piece, the center part. So it's just a very simple interpretation on this particular flower. She can talk to all the deaf people, right, that watching. Yep. Your third college degree. What are your other two? General sciences and psychology. Yeah. Oh, Michelle, wonderful. I hope you're proud of your accomplishments. You are a learning machine. So what got you into the sign language? Is that something you eventually want to move into full time? All right, let's take a look at this. Oh, good, another scientist in our group. Oh yeah, you don't have to be a college or oh my god or a university person. Good grief. Look how cool that blue's coming out, guys. Again, this is just a very simple interpretation on this third flower. Yeah, there is no comparison college degrees here. No. These are mums, Sharon. Who's teaching themselves Hebrew? What I miss? Oh, there you go. So what are you doing now full time, Michelle? And again, guys, when you do your marker here, you've got to smear it right away. I mean, like literally right away. You can't even wait like 1-2 seconds. So you're a full-time student in Hebrew as well? So what are you going to do with the Hebrew? All right. Oh, Hebrew in your spare time. Okay. So what you're saying is you're a full-time student. I gotcha. Remember, I'm coloring and having to look at the screen at the same time, so I may miss a beat or two sometimes. Brooke says she colors when she gets bored at home. Okay. Well, coloring can be very consuming, says the pot to tea kettle. You'd love to work in a synagogue with deaf congregants and use my ASL. Oh, wow. Okay, I got it. Hence learning the Hebrew. Good grief. How does one sign Hebrew? Interesting. Isn't it wonderful, the caliber of people that we attract? Michelle colors when she's stressed out. Uh-oh. We got Brooke, who loves to learn all the time. Michelle, who's studying Hebrew to sign it. Okay. Wanda has an artistic bent while she's working. Maddie loves her journaling. Sandra does her greeting cards at Christmas time that everybody got excited about this year, last year. Do we not have a group, or do we not have a group? We've got our geoscience student. And you've been working on learning Latin. Cool. Sharon, wow. I'm so glad when you guys talk about that and tell us what we're doing here, what everybody's doing. Lila's a great box opener. That's right. That's her skill. No. Not retired housewife. You are a skilled box opener. Sharon, any plans for the Latin? What are you going to do with it? Anything in particular? I'm going to throttle you guys if you get embarrassed about talking about yourselves and talking about your skills. That's right. Lila is a skilled box and package opener from Amazon. Yep, Melissa, financial banking. Then there's Dawn. No, I'm just yanking Dawn's chain. Domestic goddess. You were motivated in high school by an English teacher, Mr. Simmons. Yeah. How cool is that? Sharon, that is so neat. Lila, Christian education, Christian after school. Yep. Anybody else care to tell us your skills? Oh, Lila, you did services for pastors. Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Whoops, let me get it in the right direction. Sandra Kay, retired scientist of immunology. Pearl, a farmer's wife, jack of all trades, master of none. Oh. Oh, I love you guys. All right. So there's my last piece, my last mum. I just decided I would go with the blues. And then make that dark center. We are a well-rounded group. What is the one thing we all have in common? Coloring. There you go. What do you think so far? Sandra, spiritual counselor and healer. A cat herder, that's right, for Cindy. Oh, you guys are the best. Okay. How fun, the different paths that we've all been on. And they're all coming together in this group. All right, here. "16 grandchildren." Wow. Sandra, I didn't realize that you had that many. All righty. And you remember all their names? Yes, we do have talent in here, the sharing and caring in this group. Okay. And Brooke should be very happy because I did this last flower in blue. Did that make you happy, Brooke? And Lila is a great, great, great aunt. Okay. Time to work on a couple more projects. Anybody have any questions or comments on this little guy? That's funny, Dawn. Oh, my. I love seeing this discussion among yourselves about your skills. Hey, guys, well, no, we'll do that later. Okay. So I wanted to answer the question real quick about this picture. Yeah, you got to wag that finger. So I did a little research on this picture. Sometimes mix up my son's names and dog names. I misread that, and I thought you started to say I make up. Just start numbering them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a minute, Wanda. If I don't get to that tonight, I definitely will. Okay. So the mystery of the picture. So if you look at these pictures side by side, you will see that the legs on the left here are actually, so here and here, which is blurry right now, are actually the two legs that are right here, because this picture is cropped. And then there's a little gap in there, which this artist did not draw in. I may draw that in. And then we've got the one pant leg. Oh, actually, this is the gap. Okay, so we're good right here. Now, if you look at, so our picture goes up to right about there, okay? Just below where the knee bends. And then this is the rest of the picture. So I wanted to clarify that. And then this picture, which I think I showed you, but I'll show you again, is that lady right there is the girlfriend of the sailor that's kissing the girl. So they married. Good night, Maddie. So they married and have been married happily ever since. All right. Good night, Maddie. Good night, Maddie. Good night, Maddie. We always love to have you here. Okay. So the only thing that was confusing us because of the way they did this in the artist book was the two little lines that the artist put here, which made it look like the cloth. This is actually the street, so I'll probably eliminate those little lines and draw in like a street line, and then we'll make that whatever I make the street. So that way it won't be so dang confusing. All right. Yeah, the girl's legs do look weird. So let's go ahead and work on our little ILene girl. And then in a little while I'll probably work on the kiss. All right, so I went through, as you may recall, and I went through and I put extra foliage on the trees, zoom in, and I still try. And so I did that for the coloring so that we could have that. And that's going to give us more dimension when we go and do this tree. Now, let's talk about how we make our trees look really cool. Do I have the book Miss Muffet from it? This is from the Princess's book. No, I don't have the Miss Muffet book. What is that? A whole coloring book that's just on the Miss Muffet, or what's that? Okay, so I'm going to start with my lighter green. And guys, please don't forget to share this broadcast, especially since Ruth Sanderson was here tonight. Put that in a little description when you share your broadcast. Now, you know I'm all about detail and dimension. And even though this is a more simplistic coloring piece, I mean, it's not exactly a Ruth Sanderson, but that's not the point. The point is that you want to go ahead and put in all your detail and dimension in your coloring, right? If you're not going to put the effort into a page, don't start it. And you certainly don't need to be rushing through it. Okay, so I'm going to that's right, it's only as simple as you want it to be. But along those lines, what I'm saying is, if you're going to start it, put the effort in, okay? So there's my lighter green that I have put. Oh yeah, I know the poem. I didn't know if you meant the coloring book. Yeah, I know the little poem. All right, so now I'm going to take my dark green, and here's where I want you to start noticing now that around these little add-ins that I put in, remember in the earlier page, I'm going to go ahead and shade around them, darken around them. See how much better that looks? The one by hand, Lynn, Lila? It's called Fairy Tale Princesses. Now, what I want you to notice, I'll double check. I don't think I'm telling you wrong. So I'm putting a little bit of the darker color at the top. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my white Arteza, and I'm going to add a little bit of highlight on the top of the tree. Let's see. And we can do that in a couple of other places on the tree as well. See how that little extra? Oh, maybe maybe that's, oh, just the one princesses. Okay, my bad. one do you have? So see how that really makes that look neat from your normal viewing distance? Very, very simple process, straightforward. Excuse my arm. And this is what I want you to think about when you're coloring trees, that you add that little extra bushiness so you can go ahead and highlight it. So again, I'm adding my base color. Not coming in super heavy with it. But in some areas, even with my base color, I'm going ahead and coming in a little darker in a couple of the areas. So my first pencil, I'm using 2 shades. My second pencil, I'm using the 1 shade. And then I'm using the Arteza. Now, look at the difference, guys, between this book is from that book. Which book? Fairy Tale Princesses, right? I don't think I have the one called Storybook Darlings. All right, see the difference now between these 2 trees here when I added my little extra doodads? So now I'm coming in with my darker green. Oop. Hi, Sherry. And this is where you can really play with it. Yeah, the picture I'm calling from is Hannah Lynn's book entitled Fairy Tale Princesses and Storybook Darlings. Okay. And then we go ahead and hit that with our Arteza. And you don't want to be too regular with it or else it's going to look wonky. All right, Sandra. Get that coffee working, kiddo. And noticing too is I'm going ahead and darkening the little poofs that I drew in. And again, this is where I don't want you to get into a coloring rut or a pattern rut, as I call it, of, oh, this is a tree, oh, this is what I need to do. You've got to treat every single page that you're doing as an individual page. And I know that sounds like a duh statement, but a lot of people will say, oh, here's a tree, I'm supposed to do this. Thanks, Brooke. So here I'm coloring a little darker on my poofs that I drew in. And then I'm using my darker green in both shading around and in there, in the areas, in the poofs. Well, lilac trees can be really any color. Okay, now where these two trees overlap, I'm also going to darken just to add a little bit of shadowing on there. And let's see here, so brush that off. Well, but what I'm also saying is they can be purple, they could be, you know, whatever. Okay, so let me go ahead and just add a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot. Yeah, most people when they see trees, they automatically go green. And again, guys, when you first come in with a color, you tint with it, like I'm doing with the tree, because since I'm tinting, That allows me to go with a darkening of that initial color to create that dimension. Okay. Got to decide what these are and what these are here. Clouds. Yeah. All right. And I know that I sound like a broken record about this tinting deal, but I have to keep showing you the why. And the why in this case is if I come in darker with that initial color, I can't add my dimensional shading with my initial color. That is the point. Okay. So I've got these apple trees over here, and I'm going to use a totally different green, or as much as I can different. Yeah, there we go. Yes, and it's funny, I saw an article on Google that talked about that as well, so that when a pet or an animal is in your home, this is what they would see. It is fascinating. All right, so let's go ahead and work on the apple tree a little bit. And again, totally different green. And then I'm going to go ahead and let's see what the best way to do those apples. Yep, I see it. More tree next to the house. Between the head and the house, yeah. Now, I'm taking a second green, and this is the green. This was the lighter green that I used for my other trees. Bling the apples. Yeah, I can do that. So now I've got the dimension on that tree. Yeah, I think a jewel tree would look cool. And we still need to do her bonnet too. So I'm going to go ahead and give them, for the moment, a very distinct red. Let's see something here. Red glitter dots. Yeah? Somebody needs to remind me to do the red glitter dots. I think that would be perfect. Oh, actually, I could do that now because the glitter I can spray over. I better wait. Although I haven't had any problem with the glitter after the fact. So I'm going to try it beforehand and then see what it does. So I'll put that on real quick. Cool idea. Cool idea. Okay. Well, I don't mind putting it on now because I'm going to pop over to the other drawing. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, how cool. And I'm going ahead and letting this come in pretty thick. And again, this is another dimensional thing you can do. I'm not even going to bother working it down with the toothpick. So that is coming out really thick. Which is cool. All right, let me get that first one. So this is where you might want to be thinking about dimensional stuff. All right. Good night, Miss Melissa. Don't forget to catch the end of this broadcast tomorrow. All right. So there are my little dots, which actually look really cool. Everybody see that? How they've got that dimension? Let's see if I can show you another. Oh, there we go. See? So I did that on purpose so we can have some really blingy stuff here. Yeah, exactly. And that's the look that I wanted, is we've got that roundish apple look. Let me see if I can bring this closer and let you see the glitter effect. There we go. See how I'm tipping that? And how cool that looks? So there's some dimension ideas for you. And you can see the shadow. See the shadow in the lower right? And you see the shadow right there as I bring that up? Oh, now you can really see it as I tip it. Oh, that's actually kind of funny. So there you go. All right. Let's work a little bit on our kiss. Okay. And let me grab a little water. All right. So the trick is now is to get rid of these zoom. It's not going to work. Get rid of these little lines here in between. So I'm going to lighten them up a little bit. with my eraser. Oh, that's neat, Lila. And then I'm very, very lightly going to scratch some out with my X-Acto knife. And then rub that with my finger. Oh, he's going to be 80 soon? Ah. All right, so I've scratched that out. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a last little eraser on this, and that will basically smooth out that paper right there. And that makes so much more sense now when we're looking at the picture. Everybody see that? Okay. Now, I've got some diagonal lines coming in this way, right? So that's the road. And it also looks like, although I need to check this, I'll check back with the picture to see if that is actually trolley. So really just the addition of a couple lines and that's fixed. Everybody see that? Let me take a quick peek at that picture again and see. Okay, the perspective is different on these other pictures. What's embarrassing, Sandra? What did I miss? Oh, Sandra K., he lives in the U.S., so things are being locked down, are being done faster than here. I gotcha. Oh, you didn't, Wanda? Okay. All right, let me look at one more thing, guys, here. So actually, these are trolley rails. This looks like a curve. So I think the trolley rail also comes on the other side here. All right, I got it. So this is what I'm going to draw in, guys, is that this, in effect, here is a trolley rail. didn't realize that Canada was having that much problems getting vaccines. All right, so notice now that I'm going to add just a little bit more. To indicate that that's a rail. And I have a choice here of making this a rail or this a rail. So I'm going to make this a rail. Only Toronto is having problems, or only Toronto is getting the shots? Ah, I gotcha, Cassandra. Yeah, there's a company here in Kentucky that produce them, so I'm wondering how that's going to affect Tennessee, although they do claim that the distribution is going out to everybody all over the United States. So we'll see. Oh, only Toronto is having problems getting the shots. I gotcha. So I'm going to use a protractor here to make a couple of straight edges. And now this makes a little more sense. So this is a trolley car path. And yes, they are standing on the trolley car path, which is fine. Oh, I got it, Sandra. Yeah, Lila, but look at it this way. If they get run over, they're going to go happy. Oh. Now, the reason I figured out that this is a curb is because this lady here is stepping down off of it. So hopefully you can see that. So that's why I went ahead and made it that. So when you run into a problem like that, guys, and I've talked about this before, is you just go ahead and start coloring in the pieces you can see. To help define the areas that you can't see. So that means that if you are heck bent on coloring from a certain area down, you might want to rethink that. Actually, I read a short article on that, Sandra, and basically she said, wow, she said, I think something to the effect that he hadn't kissed her like that. But if you look in that background picture I showed you, she was smiling. So she didn't really think anything of it. I mean, again, guys, everybody was so happy. That was a momentous event. Yeah, it was wartime. The men were coming home. Everybody was, I mean, going bonkers. And you know, back then people weren't as, I don't think, vicious and nasty as they are now. So it was just something to add to being excited. All right, so I'm light tinting this rail. Yeah, the guys in the uniform kissed all the girls. That was just what they did. In fact, the girlfriend probably got kissed. Older ladies probably got kissed. Who doesn't love a guy in uniform? No kidding. Okay, now we're going to have a little fun with this track area. So I'm going to take my pencil and we're going to look at the perspective of this. And I'm going to go ahead and start putting in some stones. Now, the reality of the picture is that the tracks were in the street, right? So really, the street would have been in between here. But for the purpose of this picture and clarity, I want to go ahead and distinguish this. So I'm going to go ahead and add some little stones. See how I'm doing that? All right. Let's see here, go this way. So make sure that your stones in between. No, I'm actually going to keep them, Sandra, smaller. Or not smaller, but small. I understand what you're saying about perspective and stuff. Well, okay, yeah, I can make them a little bigger. You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. And then the teenier ones to the back. And notice that I'm elongating them a little bit. And the other thing that we need to keep in mind as well, when this is colored, is that the train most likely created a darker path down the center where the oil and grease fell. So I'm going to go ahead and, oops, screw it up. This is why we do pencil. Your daughters don't love a man in uniform. Okay. Okay, everybody see how I'm doing that? So now we've got a lot more realistic picture. Now the perspective on this is a little bit weird because this back here is apparently also a set of tracks, but it really should be going that way because we've got our buildings here. So this is one building right here. The other thing, it's not really a sidewalk because otherwise that's kind of in the middle. Yeah, we'll figure something out. I just may ignore it altogether. Does all this make sense? So I'm just going to color this very, very lightly. And then I'll go ahead and take my narrowest pen and pop in my stones, which I'll make smaller towards the back so I'll get rid of my larger ones. Oh, okay. I gotcha. So you meant apparently your daughters love military men. Oh, that's funny. And then when you're happy with what you have drawn, just draw over the top of it with your pen. The lady is stepping down from the track, not the sidewalk. Interesting. I see, Lila. Okay. So I'll go ahead and make that just a little bit darker. Yeah. Okay, then this becomes the underside where the train is. Hard to tell which it is. And then all you have to do is go ahead and erase what you put in pencil. And it could be the barrier between the two sets of tracks. Yeah, I'll treat it as the barrier between two sets of tracks and leave this to be the tracks. I really hate that when coloring book artists aren't clear. Yeah, because here apparently is the other set of tracks. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. That's the other set of tracks. Yeah, it is. It's very confusing. But we're good. I've settled on it. Much better. Okay. One uptown, one downtown. Cool beans. All right. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Yeah, and it does. It looks a lot better. And I think we're right about the barrier between the two tracks. All right. So I'm going to put the guy behind the girl. And see, again, guys, that's why you color specific pieces to start figuring out what is what. So I've got a tan shirt, and that's going to lead our eye down here because we look at the hair and then look down the arm. And with the same marker, I'm just going to go ahead and darken this for our folds. How cool is that? And I'm going to go ahead and put on a pair of tan shoes for him. And I'm going to go a little darker. And I'm going to take a little bit of dark tan now and just brush that a little bit and immediately hit it with my finger. See that shading that we got on that shoe now? So we'll go ahead and get that right there. Marker, and then just a little bit of smudging with the finger. Cool. And then the last thing I'm going to do on that shoe is go ahead and put that black sole on there. How cool is that? And I'm just going to shade a little bit on top of his shoe just to give that a little more dimension. There we go. Look at the difference now that that has made by adding that little extra stuff that we did. Okay, and what I started to do is I'm going to add a little bit of my squiggly line on my second track here. Just to keep that consistent. And one more thing, and then I'm going to wrap up in a little bit, is I'll go ahead and add a couple of my dashed lines here so that we have the consistency back and forth. We don't quite know what it is, but we'll follow the artist. How cool is that? Anybody have any questions or comments? Let's see here. We got this. Now, the main thing that I don't want you to fuss about is when you have a drawing that's not clear, you fill in your own interpretation of it and you run with it. I hear so many people say, oh, I couldn't figure this out, I couldn't figure that out, the artist wasn't clear, yada, yada, yada. So what? Make it your own and don't fuss. That's what this coloring is all about, right? We good? I've got about 7 minutes. Anything else before I pop away or what? You guys ready to call it an evening? I think this is going to come out to be a really, really cool looking piece. And I think that soldier outfit looks great. We all see white. Not yet. I'm not ready to reveal the publisher. Possibly tomorrow night. So again, guys, don't let images throw you. Draw it to be your own. Make it your own and run with it. Don't wrangle your hands and say, oh, I couldn't figure out this, I couldn't figure out that. I'm upset with it, I couldn't color it, you know, whatever. I love it. I think it's going to look top notch when we're done. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up. We had a lot of fun tonight. And let me see if my stuff is dry yet. I better not touch that glitter. Fun, fun, fun. And then I worked on that a little bit. Hey, before you guys go, quick question. Can somebody identify this picture for me? It's a Hannah Calzone. I'm not sure which one it is. If you don't recognize it tonight, I'll ask tomorrow night. Anybody know what it is offhand? I don't know if it's Daydreams. I think it might be Daydreams. I'm not sure. But if somebody could tell me, that would be great. And again, if not tonight, send me an IM. I'm going to play with this. All right, guys, we are in good shape. We have too much fun. No, we don't. Love you guys. I'll figure it out. Guys, God bless you. Joyous, joyous coloring. And I will see you. It's a book, Sandra. Summer nights. Cool. Are you sure, Wanda? Super, super. All right, summer nights. Oh, that's perfect. You're a sweetheart, Wanda. Thank you. I knew one of you could come up with it for me. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great rest of the evening. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. More stuff to come up. Oh, that's great, Wanda. Thank you. You guys are the best. Michelle, I'm so glad you could make it. Come on in more if you can. You guys take care. All righty. We are good to go. Have a great rest of the evening, guys, and we have three-dimensional apples. All right, guys. Good night. Or as I always say, bye.